All right, so hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are tackling emotional numbness
Okay.
and using the Camino Within as our guide. I think one of the things that I found so intriguing about this book was this question that it poses.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we so good at avoiding our true feelings?
Well, I think what's so interesting about that is it's not even just like a personal thing. It's like woven into our culture.
Right.
We're constantly bombarded with messages about productivity and achievement and just like being on all the time.
Yeah, it's like this hamster wheel
Right.
of busyness that
Yeah.
we're all kind of on.
Absolutely.
And the book points out that we use all sorts of things to numb out,
Yeah.
from overworking to overeating,
Mm-hmm.
to zoning out in front of the TV, to too much
Yeah.
social media,
Absolutely.
even having that extra glass of wine at night.
I think it makes sense if we think about it from a bigger picture perspective. Like our brains are actually wired to avoid pain. So when we are faced with, difficult emotions, it's almost instinctual to like reach for something that's going to give us temporary relief.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But the book argues that this constant numbing out actually prevents us from dealing with what's really going on underneath.
Right.
Talks about how this avoidance can even be kind of sneaky.
Uh-huh.
Like we might think we're just treating ourselves with that extra slice of cake.
Yeah.
But deep down, it's about stuffing down something that feels uncomfortable.
Exactly. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. And you're masking the pain, but the real issue is still there. And over time, those unaddressed emotions can actually like fester and manifest in really unhealthy ways.
So how do we break free from this cycle? The book talks a lot about catching yourself in the act of numbing out.
Right.
What does that actually look like?
Well, I think it starts with awareness. Like really pay attention to your habits. When do you reach for that distraction? What feelings are you trying to avoid? And once you start to kind of notice those patterns, you can begin to, make different choices.
So instead of immediately pouring that glass of wine after a stressful day, we pause and ask ourselves, what am I feeling right now?
Yeah.
What's driving this urge to numb out?
Exactly. And I think it's about, creating space to actually feel those emotions, even if it's just for a moment. And remember, this is a practice. Like, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress.
Yeah. There's this line in the book that really spoke to me. It says, there may be tears, and that's okay, because that's the way through to your best self. I love that because it's acknowledging that the path to growth isn't always sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
It can be messy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can be uncomfortable.
And it's powerful because it reminds us that, those difficult emotions, the ones that we so often try to numb, are actually signposts pointing us towards what needs our attention.
So big takeaway here is that, recognizing when we're numbing out and resisting, that urge is essential for personal growth, but it's a journey.
Absolutely.
Not a quick fix.
It is a journey. Yeah. And I think, something to reflect on is what is one area in your life where you might be numbing out? And what would it look like to actually face those feelings head on? Even if it's just for like a few minutes today, you might be surprised by the insights that you uncover.
I love that. That's such a powerful question to kind of sit with. And just remember, you don't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes having a supportive friend or a therapist or even a journal to kind of process these emotions can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
Keep diving deep and keep exploring.